Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast. My name is Jędrek.
My name is Masha.
Why are you frowning?
I'm laughing,
Masha.
actually. Could you
What?
see? Well, because
Yeah, but you were like
it was
frowning.
really, really slow. And I was, oh my God,
Because it
something's
was
coming.
different.
Something's coming. He's going to say
because
something.
it was different.
I have to
it was
watch,
different.
the language.
I usually, all right, if you want, I want to say hi and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast.
Okay.
All right, great. Fine. So, it's nice to see you and to be here again, in the studio to record another episode of
what kind of
our fantastic
podcast
show.
is it for people maybe who just...
Well, it's one of many,
Is it a podcast about English?
It's not really about English, It's the only thing is it's in English, but it's not about English. So even though we are teachers and we kind of talk about teachery stuff, but
So is it useful for learners of English?
I guess it is.
I guess it is. I mean, maybe, could be.
yeah. I mean, at least the feedback we are getting, it's kind of reassuring.
Yes, my friend Tanya, if you're listening, then she's binging our podcast, so that's something.
Excellent. Yeah, it's true that this podcast is small. Our audience is something around 40 listeners per episode. Right now, it's actually 41 or 2, something like that. I'm talking about the average, and we've got 82 subscribers on Spotify, which is nice. I don't know about Apple because Apple is telling me that the numbers are too small to give me the insight into the analytics, So I don't know, but there is, maybe there are a few fans, Okay, but the podcast is small, but it's actually becoming kind of a cult.
Is it? Okay.
It has some faithful listeners. So I say hi to all the faithful listeners. And without really prolonging this introduction, this small talk, let me introduce our today's guest. It's a student of mine, if I can say so, because I don't like the name student, because I don't treat people like students. I basically treat people like, users, partners. I don't know. I don't feel smarter than my students anyway. And well, let's say hi to Adrian, basically. Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, Masha. And hello to the listeners of this podcast.
To 41 listeners.
And you thought that this is not a big podcast because there are only 82 subscribers, but I think that this is really nice number because of course there are some podcasts with thousands of subscribers, but if we can imagine 82 person, I think that it is really nice audience.
They will not even fit in my room, all these people. It's a crowd.
Not to mention my little room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for these words. I'm just, I'm watching the statistics lately, and every day we have some new subscribers, so it's actually, the podcast is growing. I like where this is going. And recently, I think it's maybe a good moment to mention that recently we opened this Buy Me a Coffee service. So for everybody who appreciates what we are doing, you can buy us a virtual coffee, which is strange. I wanted to change it into a beer because I can't drink coffee. Yeah, buy us a virtual Tesla. Right. Adrian, I was also wondering, just before you joined us with Masha, should I say Adrian, like the Polish pronunciation, or should we say Adrian, which is the English pronunciation? I guess it's easier for you, Masha, to say what?
For me?
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what's easier for me. It's what people prefer to be called, like for Jędrek, there is no even an equivalent in English. So what should people call
exactly.
you?
That's like, yeah. All right.
For me, both is okay. Adrian or Adrian.
All right, excellent. So, Masha, you have, freedom to choose. Okay. I just wanted to, I introduced you as my student, but I'm wondering, also personally, could I call you a YouTuber?
Yes, probably yes.
Because it's kind of, it's strange because I guess it's only your voice that's on YouTube, right?
Yes, sometimes you can also see my face, but my kids are very happy about this, that they can told their friends that they've got their father is a YouTuber because he has YouTube channel.
That's so cool, that's so cool.
And what is your channel about?
This is Fabryki w Polsce. It is about factories.
Factories in Poland, yeah.
Yes, factories in Poland. And this is similar to TV show, How It's Made. And we are visiting factories in Poland, and we show how these factories are working. How they produce.
So, for example, how they produce,
goods.
Stuff like chips, or I don't know, whatever you name it,
Yes.
Coke, whatever, So basically,
Great.
it's a cool, it's a cool channel, And I must say that Masha, that I'm a homegrown investor, not really a successful one, but I am. And I'm kind of using Adrian's experience, as an acid test of the economy, So usually, as the small talk at the beginning, I ask, so what's the spirit in the Polish factories, How, how do the managers and the plants, how are they, what are they feeling, what's the sentiment? All right.
I've got knowledge, inside knowledge from
exactly.
the factories. So
exactly.
Sometimes these people know better some things that could happen in the future, and because they are so close, all this.
And the fact that you visit the fact that you visit many factories per week or monthly, it also gives this unique perspective that it's not just one manager, because they all are sort of guessing, right? I mean, you have to bet on the economy going well or not going well, and so on. But having that sort of experience, that sort of insight, you can draw the right conclusions, that okay, the situation is not as bad as they painted in the media, or maybe it's actually worse than they do, and so on.
And share these conclusions with you, of course, yes, during small talk.
Yeah, sure. And then
correct you.
And then I quickly, and then I quickly buy or sell.
Yes, I can tell to Jędrek, yes, this factory is really okay.
And these guys are not doing great, just get rid of their stock.
It's really, it's really interesting, but I think, it's a cool job, I must say. But we are not here to talk about
factories in Poland.
I mean, we could be actually doing this, it's a pity I didn't actually develop a question, because if you think about a factory as a concept, it's really interesting, You could think about, the factory of graduates, like schools. All right. I wanted to ask Adrian one thing that is kind of linked to schools, of course. So why not? Let's go to what is famously known as round one. All right. So
okay.
Round one.
it's something that I came across recently, and I just need to ask, is the lack of knowledge a problem today? Not knowing, the fact that you don't know something, is it a problem? Given that you have your smartphone and quickly check.
Yes, and now we've got era of chat GPT.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, so you can ask.
Masha is
about
laughing.
everything.
Masha is laughing because she's sending me from time to time some
I'm bombarding
some
him with the latest
Yeah.
news, because it's developing with, I don't
You
know.
are sort of afraid.
Sunshine.
You are sort of afraid of that, Masha, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we need to be really, really fast because we don't have much time left,
All right, but wait a second. So let's go back to this. So Adrian, not knowing, it's no longer a problem.
Now we've got more possibilities to find some information, and now when I think about, for example, the 90s, when you wanted check some information about, I don't know, some historical facts or something like that.
Well, you needed to go to the library,
Yes, or buy some books, and now you don't. You only, as you told, that we can only check it on our telephone, and you can find some information. Also, it is very very good tool for journalists or some people who make some stuff for internet, some podcasts and something like that. You can make really good research only looking for informations on internet. But there is also I think maybe there is a problem with inflation of this informations, because there is a lot. For example,
I mean, it's I don't know how to call that. It's Masha. How's what's the name for that? Is it cornucopia? Something like this? It's like there's a word like that. There's a word like that. It's.
Well, I hope you didn't make it up.
I
hope there's a word like this. It's an
but
English
basically,
podcast after all.
Who cares? We are
Okay.
we are here after sense. We are not after language. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flood. It's an avalanche. It's I don't know how to call that. It's too much basically.
I've got this I don't know, a month ago I prepare also a podcast about strawberries, and I looked for some informations where the history of the strawberries started, because they are not wild. It is not a wild plant, because it was.
Wait a second. So they didn't actually evolve from those, small bear.
Wild
what's
strawberries.
We call them poziomki in Polish. What's the English? Wild strawberries? So I looked at this.
Wild strawberries.
But
even
this
the name, it
strawberries
says strawberries, So it's like,
yes. But this strawberries, as we know now, this is they find them. It was 19th century probably. Before that, people don't know the strawberries as we know now, because this is.
You mean the big juicy?
Yes.
Fruit.
This is this is a new new kind of this.
It's a genetic manipulation, basically. I mean, some sort of...
maybe not so strong as today, but
Selection.
genetic.
Before genetic.
Yes,
It was selection.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So they found
And-
these little sour berries in the forest, and they did something, and now we have this wonder, basically. No?
Yes, it was something like that. But when I looked for informations about this, I saw that there is a lot of information on internet, but they are not so not so deep. And I think that you can find some articles about this, but there are probably copies
Made by
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
Yes. Yes.
No, I
that's
mean, it's
right.
like
But
Wikipedia entry that is maybe, just copied,
but this is very interesting because ChatGPT told me that it is prehistoric plant. So and I also got this experience that I made also an episode about Italy, because in Polish Italy is Włochy, but on other languages it is Italian or or something like that. And I also found a lot of information which was copied from one article, and there were the same informations and at other. But some weeks after, I read a book about Celts, and I found some roots of this name Włochy on
the Polish name
on this book.
Mm-hmm.
And it was different.
So wait a second. Wait a second. I mean, what do actually Celts have to do with Italians or Italy?
Yes, because there was I don't know how it's in English, plemię,
Tribe,
tribe.
a tribe.
Tribe. Okay, it was tribe which calls Volks, and they were. It was big tribal, and they.
What is the spelling of it with X at the end?
In Polish book it was Wołch.
All right.
And they were everywhere in Europe, but especially they were at the central Europe, and probably they were Polish people in Poland, in old Poland, know these guys, and name of their tribal Volks,
tribe,
Volks, Włoch, and they they know them as Volks, but they linked them with people from the south, from the
all right.
Italian. So this is probably this is
yeah, because the name is totally unlike in any other language, I guess, and it's kind of bizarre because Masha, if you don't know, but Włochy, the Polish name for Italy, is kind of related to hair, because I would say that the big hair is like Włoch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you see, it's kind of like, what the hell, it's like, it's interesting.
Yes.
But I would sooner, I would sooner call actually, some kind of a Celtic tribe that it's Włochate, it's like, probably, the people, you can imagine, the people being hairy. And, I'd sooner call a Celtic tribe like this than Italians,
Yes, and on this information that I found on internet, there were two parts why we call Italian Włochy. It is because of these Volks, or maybe about people from Romania, Wołoszczyzna, from this area.
All right.
And they on internet you can find there are two parts, but on this book I found the information that Wołoszczyzna, it is also the name of folks, because they used to live there. Probably this is one path, no two paths, but one path. But this is very similar with Lędzie in Hungarian language. Polish people are Lędzie, and this is the similar way, because they know Polish tribe Lędzian, so they call them
all right.
All the Polish people they call Lędzie.
All right. Wow, that is interesting.
Yes.
But what's the link to the search for information and my question, which is the lack of knowledge a problem today?
Yes, that now we've got a lot of information. You can find everything on internet, but this is not a deep knowledge. Yeah. Sometimes you can find only some, I don't know, the parts of this knowledge, and you know how deep sometimes there is explanation of some things.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been thinking a lot about it, but I can definitely subscribe to what you say. I mean, it's like everything that you find on the internet is just skin deep. It's like, yeah, you can learn something, but just a little. But if you really want to learn something in and out, you can't depend on the internet. I think, unless you get some, I don't know, PDFs, and pirated copies of books.
Of course.
And then you go through the books, right? So it's sort of reading, but you're right that the really deep info is in books. It's not on the internet.
And I also think about ChatGPT, because he's based on the information from the internet. So
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, I don't know. This can, if it's not yet based, it could be, because it's all about just I don't know, updating the system, and adding books or the world's library. I remember that Google and they still do. They have this Google Books or no, sorry, Google Books is like a. But you can buy books there, and read them in the electronic format. But they were scanning volumes of books. I mean, all books possible. But one thing is to sell it, but the other thing is to use it for an AI. I guess. I mean, there's no obstacle, I guess, there to use it. But I don't know how would the algorithm actually, choose the right answer from. Various volumes on the same subject, but that's a different story. But Adrian, you hesitate before really like answering yes or no. Is the lack of knowledge a problem today? Is it not, given that you have actually before you answer, I'll tell you, and Masha, listen up. Do you know Sugata Mitra? Or Sugata, I don't know what's.
No.
He's the guy. He's an Indian guy, but he's writing a lot about education, but in a specific sense. He's a huge fan of technology, and he believes that tech can solve all the educational problems and so on. That's just in short. But he said that, and he's actually the inspiration for the question. He said that right now the lack of knowledge is not a problem, just like not knowing what is the time, it's not a problem anymore. If you don't know what's the time, because you have your watch, you can consult it every time. And if you don't have a watch, you can ask someone, of course, and then you have a smartphone. So you know what time it is, because we have access to some sort of watches, some sort of clocks, everywhere. In the past, you needed to observe the sun, you needed to have some sort of orientation, right? Because it also depends on the season, right? In the summer, it's, the zenith is at a different time and so on.
Yeah, but
basically,
the demands were also very different back in the days when we didn't have watches or clocks. I mean, it was not really important to know the exact time as it is now.
Yeah, I agree, of course. But
so when you say lack of knowledge is not a problem today, what exactly do you mean? How easy it is to get information today? Or
I mean, the access to
you don't
knowledge,
have to memorize lots of stuff anymore. The access to knowledge is so easy today, and but we don't have to memorize
it's a matter. Exactly. It's a matter of one click, or in the case of ChatGPT, you can just ask it like you ask your friend, and then you have the answer, and you don't even have to scroll through the Google results, 10 pages or whatever, but you just get the answer right away. So
Adrian, do you still kind of do you have children? Oh yeah, because they are proud of you being a child. So do you make them memorize multiplication table?
No.
No?
And what is no?
What is it in Polish, Jędrek?
Tabliczka mnożenia,
Oh, it's a tabliczka mnożenia.
Yes.
Tabliczka mnożenia.
Yes.
Okay. Do you make them? Do you make sure they memorized it?
Yes, I remember that with my older son, we try it, but now I think that my younger son tried by himself, because now he know it, but and I didn't I didn't train with him this. But maybe in school, I don't know, but yes.
Well, do you think it's important? Because that's the question I get from my son. Why do I have to memorize it if I always have a phone with me? And it goes for many other things, and I don't honestly have a good answer. All I can do is just I say because I said so, but I kind of know it.
That's the best argument, Go to your room.
Yeah, go to your room. So what would you say to that if your son asked you why? What's the point?
Yes, of course, it was hard to them. So yes.
Come on, it's not hard. It's multiplication table.
Yes, maybe you can probably check it on your phone.
Yeah, but the question is, what is the point today if you have a calculator at your fingertips, basically?
And the question is it a problem if you don't know the multiplication table?
I think that this is yes, but sometimes this is this is easier when you can check something in your head very quickly, not to looking for your phone. But I think that this is maybe also similar like Latin language. Because nobody use this language. There is no country where this.
It's a dead language.
Yeah, it is used, but not for communication. Yes. Yeah.
But probably this is important to learn. Only act of learning of Latin language, because I heard that this is very important to train our memory, for example, because you have to learn some declinations or something like that, and this is very helpful for our memory. And of course, maybe for some people to read ancient texts. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, you know. It's like deep inside, I feel like, come on, of course it's a problem not knowing, you know. I mean, if a person doesn't know, especially like basic facts, you know, like, I don't know, capital cities or stuff, you know, like that, basic geography and so on. Of course, it's not all right, and it should be a problem. However, I don't know if technology can actually eliminate this, you know, and even, you know, because right now, what's the problem? I mean, it's maybe a little bit kind of a shame, you know, if you don't know the capital city of whatever, you know, of France. But on the other side, I don't know, maybe it's just, you know, it's just my opinion, you know, maybe it's not actually shame. It's everything's perfectly fine, you know, you can consult your phone. I mean, it's interesting, you know.
Yes, and
you know, this general opinion may change, basically, you know.
I think that now we can find every information if we are interested about in something, but and we can make really nice conversation about something, but sometimes it is very superficial because now when when my children are bigger, now I have more time to read in the books, and sometimes when
I wish I was at this stage, you know.
And yes, I discovered that reading of books is still very important because I can find a deeper knowledge on this
And
books.
I think it goes beyond knowledge, you know. I mean, there is something in longer texts, you know, that when you read, it's it was a great book actually by my goodness, I can't remember it. It's because of this digital culture that makes my memory super short. But the title was Reader Come Home. Who wrote that?
Oh yeah, Reader Come Home. She was on the podcast.
What an excellent,
the other
what
podcast.
an excellent, yeah,
This
what an
woman.
excellent book. Yeah. It's Marianne Wolf. All right, I'm not so
yeah.
bad after all, you know. All right. So yeah, but and you know, it's a pity that I can't remember actually, you know, the lessons that that she was giving there. You know, she wrote it in a form of letters actually, but I can't remember actually the conclusions. But I remember that reading the book was like, wow, reading texts, longer texts, especially not like SMS or tweets, you know, but reading longer texts has actually much greater value than just, you know, and the pleasure you get from it or the knowledge that you get from it. You know, it goes beyond that for sure. I guess one day I have to like reread the conclusions. You know, I keep them in my Evernote. All right, not in my head, you see, but in my Evernote, I can always consult that. You know, I can always reach for my phone and read, you know, the notes that I made while reading. So yes, it's kind of shame. Added one more question, you know. All right, let's say that you may find knowledge, so not knowing is maybe not a problem. Can you find wisdom in your smartphone?
Maybe you can find on the smartphone some good texts which can make fuel for your wisdom, but this is.
I guess wisdom is not something like you just find, I mean, out there. It's sort of, it has to be born inside. I mean, like you say, under the influence of a text or you know, some sort of
you can find somebody's wisdom in your smartphone, but not your.
There is something like
your wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. But that means that what Masha, that we have like everybody has their own wisdom. I mean, it's kind of bizarre. I mean, you know. But there are like
you have
words
a
of
way.
wisdom.
There is a road to your wisdom, and you just have to go this road.
And you can't, like, you know, take
there
a
are
shortcut.
No shortcuts. I don't think so.
You have to. It's interesting, you know. But
operator,
yeah,
please upload wisdom. Yeah.
If you know, because there are like collections of the words of wisdom from various cultures, you know, and epochs and so on. And well, if you read all of them, you should be wise, but it doesn't work this way, right? Because they are often contradictory. They are kind of, you know, it's not that easy to get knowledge, to get wisdom like you are getting knowledge. Knowledge is, you know, easy to grab. You just take it, but wisdom is not. Wisdom is more, I don't know what, either sticky or I don't know, heavy. You just can't.
It's kind of understanding of this. Of all the world around you, and this is like more not like data, but maybe like program.
Like the algorithm, you want to say?
No, like you know, that program which program sterujący,
which controls, I guess.
Operacyjny program.
All right, yeah, the operating system. Yeah, the operating system.
Yes. It is not data, but more operating, like operating system. So this is different level of not knowledge, really, but yes.
Yeah, this is really interesting, you know, and I think that's like, you know, like you said, learning Latin today. I mean, knowledge-wise, it doesn't make much sense. I mean, learning the vocabulary, you know, getting knowledge about it. But wisdom-wise, I guess it makes sense, you know, because it might lead you to some, you know, conclusions. Wisdom is something that I agree with you, Masha, that you cannot borrow. I mean, you can. I mean, yeah, you can borrow it from your grandma, like some of it, but not all of it, because each epoch has their own wisdom, I guess. Or
yeah, you're probably right. But some things are, you know,
if you
timeless, you know.
Some things are timeless. It's true, and I guess wisdom is definitely.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But so never say anything bad about the state because it's feeding you. All right, but I wanted to say that yeah, I don't know what I wanted to say. You know, on the one side I wanted to say that wisdom. I mean, each epoch or each generation have their own wisdom, but on the other side, Masha, I agree that wisdom is timeless. There is no progress in wisdom. There's only progress in science, in knowledge, right? We can update our knowledge, but we cannot update our wisdom, I guess. Because what was wise before is probably wise today, isn't it? Adrian, what do you think?
Well, maybe there will be generation that will become wiser sooner than the previous generation. Would that count as progress? I don't know.
But what does, I mean, becoming wiser, you know, the problem is that if you apply your wisdom from the ancient times to the modern times, it's not like you cannot apply it one-to-one, right? Or can you? That's the question to our guest.
Well, it is very hard because, yes, sometimes we can tell that we've got bigger wisdom than I don't know, people from Middle Ages, because
I'm not so sure about it, but yeah, maybe. I mean, we definitely have bigger knowledge. I'm totally sure about this.
Yes,
we know about viruses, bacteria. They didn't know about it. They thought it's some kind of curse.
So you think
that,
the
you know,
guy, who is the wisest person ever? You would say
Gandalf?
No. Okay. But I like that. Okay, King Solomon, yes. So you think
Yeah,
today
I guess.
as a friend, he would be totally useless?
No, I don't wanted to say that that people I know from Middle Ages are totally I don't know, stupid or something like that, but maybe also the fact that we've got a bigger knowledge about something, it also maybe make us wisdom,
wiser in the sense that for example, we know about the universe, we know about, you know, the planets, we know about, you know, the laws of physics, stuff that they didn't know about.
Yes.
And so, but then again, it's and so in other words, Adrian, you say that the amount of knowledge translates on the level of wisdom. So they are actually linked in a way, because you know, if you have lots of knowledge, then your understanding is wider, and if your understanding is wider, that equals you are wiser.
It could be, I think because
but not
it is
necessarily
also,
I would say.
Yes, because it is still like we told about the superficial knowledge, because if we've got bigger knowledge about all this world, it could make us wiser, but sometimes even if we've got this bigger knowledge and this superficial knowledge, it doesn't help us on that way. And yes, so maybe it is better that we've got that we know more about the stars, about the plants, about everything, but this is no the way that automatically make us wiser.
No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
not
I mean,
automatic. Is Elon Musk wise, you would say, Jendrik?
Why
Be
should
careful,
I
he
be
might be
answering this?
listening. Yeah. To
Yeah,
this
he's definitely listening. If he's not listening, then his algorithms are listening to us. Sure. It's good we have bad English, because, you know, maybe they can't override this, you know. Fine. Anyway, is he a wise person? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I think given, you know, his results that are quite impressive, I'd say, but you don't know how much of that is, you know, connections. You know, he knows guys in the government, you know, he gets some grants, you know, he gets some cash. I don't know actually, but and I also heard that this is only a gossip, you know, but I heard that he's a terrible person privately, like, you know, pushing people beyond limits, pushing himself and so on. I don't think it's wise, you know. The wise way is the French way. You relax, you rest.
Yeah, and
protest
for about 2 years, or what are they 2 years, is it, or 3 years?
I guess they want to increase the retirement age by 2 years.
Yeah, but 2 years, and they've been protesting for, like, I don't know, God knows how long.
Yeah, but working only Wednesdays, that's the wise way to do, you know. Wise way to go. No, sorry. Of course, I'm joking a bit, but yeah, I think wisdom. I'm not even sure if wisdom is something that is, you know, local. Like you are, you know, wise in one area, like you can like knowledge, because knowledge is local. You know, you could be knowledgeable about I don't know, DNA manipulation, but you may know nothing about the financial markets. But when it comes to wisdom, I think wisdom is sort of universal. If you're wise, then you follow certain principles that are applicable to all areas. But then I don't know if can you be actually wise as an investor, let's say. Can you actually be wise on the financial markets? I don't know. The market will make a fool of everyone. Even Buddha would lose. Especially
Buddha, Buddha the investor.
Buddha investment. I've got a nice name for my investment
your company.
fund, Buddha investment. Yeah, Buddha investment. All right, we are wise.
Okay, Jandrek, is the lack of knowledge a problem today?
You're asking me?
Yes.
My heart says yes. It is a problem, but
you can't make a really solid argument.
I can't.
For my son, please.
I'd say I would use, I wouldn't, because if you approach this problem from the knowledge perspective, it's not a problem. I mean, because knowledge is, it's searchable, it's available, and it's not a problem. But it's a problem from exactly this, from the perspective of wisdom. I mean, you look like a fool if you don't know certain facts, And unless everybody's a fool, so everybody's, consulting their smartphones and no one is kind of, knowing anything, then,
and with ChatGPT, this is likely our future.
Oh yeah, this is where we are heading, We are heading into, this kind of
outsourcing absolutely everything.
Outsourcing everything,
Yes, but I also now I'm thinking about this guys from the Middle Ages, and of course now we know more about stars,
medicine, everything,
Yes, but probably they knew more about their local life, about the plants that they
they knew their neighbors more than we do.
Probably also, but about about the trees around them, about the
they didn't have weather
birds.
forecast websites, so they had to observe carefully.
Yes, that's right. And now when I look through the window, I see the trees, but I don't know how they call, for example, some of them, or I hear some.
There's an app for it. There's an app for it.
Actually, yes, there's
yes,
an app
of course, and also with birds, you've got
of course.
Yeah.
I have this app, and I'm checking.
Yes, but
sometimes.
but this is also this is not knowledge, because I check what is a bird which is singing, and for 2 weeks I don't remember, and these guys probably heard the singing of the bird, and they knew, oh, this is that bird, and so they had the knowledge which was maybe closer to them. They didn't know.
I would say,
happened.
Something is definitely happening to our long-term memory. I mean, its capacity is like, very low. I can't remember important phone numbers. I can't remember, like you said, stuff that I read like 1 week ago or yesterday. It's disturbing, I must say. I for example, I admire people who like my parents, for example, who still remember poems they learned in school. It's like, how come, I can't remember any poem I was reciting, from my memory back then. It's amazing, and well, it simply didn't get that deep, But then again, I'm not saying that, that's the key to, I don't know, to obviously successful life, or happy life, that you remember poems.
If your
but
hard disk is full, then you can.
I guess
Adrian compared it to operating. What is the Windows
operating system? Yeah, OS. Yeah. Windows.
If your hard drive is, I'm not really good at it, but I assume if your hard drive is full, your operating system cannot work properly. So what's the point of saving all this stuff? There's an app for it.
Yeah. So it's like an external
extension.
disk,
it's like extension to your, I don't know. It's like having, metal arm. Now you have this thing that's always in your pocket.
You mean the pen drive, or?
I mean your smartphone.
All right. All right, fine. No, I mean, I can't remember, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
All right. Great.
I memory. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wrap
Goldfish.
up at somewhere around here.
Yeah,
the three of us. Let's do the voting. Is the lack of knowledge a problem today, Masha?
It will be in the future. That's my answer.
No, I want to hear a yes or no from you. For once. Don't avoid.
A problem for what?
For life, I mean,
For life, of course not.
It's not.
No.
All right. Adrian, your answer is lack of knowledge.
Yes,
a problem?
I would say this.
That...
Okay, I'm so sorry, but it just occurred to me that it's much easier now. It's much easier to live if you're stupid now than if you were stupid 100 years ago.
Yes, probably.
Sure.
Sure.
Wow. Wow.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's more comfortable. I mean,
Of course. Yeah.
All right, Adrian, I know Masha interrupted you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
You vote yes, you vote no. What do you vote?
Yes, I think that this is a problem. Even if we've got telephones and more possibilities to check something, some information, I think that this is still a problem.
All right, and so the education system should actually take care of it. I mean, and teach children at least the basics.
This multiplication.
A multiplication table, but I think from the perspective even of our freedom, really it goes as deep as that. It is an issue. You have to know the facts. I mean, know them, not just have them in your pocket. All right. Yeah, I vote yes, and I say it's a problem, but I can't find a solid argument, Masha. I'm sorry. You have to kind of
it's my
send
child
your
after
son
all.
to his room.
You have your own to deal with. Yeah.
All right. Great. Thanks so much, Adrian, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and this conversation obviously right now will continue, in my head. I will, try and think about all of that, Masha, how about you? Are you wiser after this talk? There's silence. It means wisdom.
Yes. Silence is wisdom. Wisdom is silence. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Stupidity is loud, It's always, All right. Great. Thanks so much. Masha, you have to say, what you have to say. Thanks a lot. By the way, guys.
Yeah.
We have a website, about it. It's studiomentals.com. All the links are in the description. I mean, the links
I hope
for
they are.
well, don't forget about the voicemail, because I'm kind of, hoping that it's going to be more popular, but so far we've got just very, very few messages, which means one. But I would like our listeners to leave a voicemail. Come on, you can always delete it. You can record it 5, 7, 10 times until you're satisfied. And come on, say hi or comment on what you heard. Thanks for that. The links are in the description once again. All right.
Yes, and if you appreciate what we're doing, consider buying us a coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That feels nice. I bought us a coffee yesterday. It felt so good.
Yeah, and you wrote that Masha is the best. I mean, what's that? I mean, come on.
I hope you would also, write that Jędryk's the best and also buy us a coffee. And that's how we'll get to our $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't. I just need to log out, and because the system doesn't allow me to pay to my own account.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, and thank you, Adrian, for really, really interesting conversation. And I will have to research strawberries and Italy.
Yeah.
And this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.